I want to show you some of my characters, some of the things that I do with bones. Now, what you have here is actually a character that's made with turkey bones for the legs and shoulder blades from, I think, my cat that died a few years ago. The head is made with the raccoon head. The tail is made from my Christmas turkey, actually. These are the vertebrae of my Christmas turkey. Over here, I have for this tail of this character. His head isn't on right now. This is actually the neck. And all of the limbs on all of my characters that I made will articulate. A copper wire inside there. And this one's still under construction. You can see the adhesive that I used, and so the limbs move. Use catgut for feet in this one. Bones, and I use a cow vertebrae here. And a sweet potato for a head for this character.
Wow.
Again, the heads articulate, the limbs articulate, and
wow.
Down here for the base I've used a tree canker. Now a tree canker is basically a node for the tree. En français, on appelle ça des nodes. Et puis ce que je fais ici, ça c'est un node. This is a tree node. Now, what's happened here is that it had an infection. Une infection est rentrée ici. Et puis ça cause des distorsions et puis le bois il commence à pousser alentour. The wood starts to shape around the node trying to protect itself. And in the end, the center of it always does die. This would be the center of the tree right here. The center of all trees can die while the tree still lives. It's the umbilical cord that connects it to the earth. Now over here, I have some other little characters I made with bones. This is a bone of a cow, chicken bones, and I've used the carrot that I've dried out for a tail. So this carrot, and I use these things for making all kinds of other things like octopus and a few other things. The head's made with an avocado. The inside of an avocado that I carved, and this one I carved it before I baked it. And this was a fresh avocado. I stuck it in the freezer for about an hour. Makes it a little easier to carve, and then I baked it in the oven. And over here I have another one. This one also. My little characters. He's got little swords also made from bones. And this is made from an avocado that I dried and then I carved it. And again, a tail was made with a carrot. That's pretty neat. Over here I've got one character that's under construction right now. This character is made with a sweet potato head again. And with my cat head that I didn't dig up my cat. What happened was I had buried him in the springtime when the ground was still frozen, so I didn't get him down, I didn't get her down very deep, and 3 or 4 springs later the erosion of this little mound started to reveal skeletons, so that's what happened there. I don't really dig up my pets at all. And so that's pretty much about it for these characters. Now what I'm trying to show over here is how all of these characters and the different bones and then the heads, you have all different parts of nature, yet they can all be shaped into forming a character such as this. But I've used chicken bones and combined them with dog bones, and it's still all the same thing. It's still a series of bones combined together, and they all seem to have the same shape. It doesn't really matter what the creature is. And again, I use a piece of rawhide for the feet. And then this one, I just go to the store and get rawhide bones for dogs and soak them for a little while in water, and then I start using them for doing different things. I actually made some snowshoes with my granddaughter one year. Yeah. Here's another one that I made. Now this one, made with cow vertebrae. Ici, c'est fait avec une vache. Le dos d'une vache. Ici encore une dinde. This is turkey. Ici une dinde ici. Et puis ça, la tête avec un morceau de bois. Nued. This is made with a tree from what tree is this one? This is a hickory. So this is a hickory burl. Now these heads all pop off. They articulate a little piece of copper wire. And his feet are made with the shoulder blades of a baby calf, I believe, that had died on my friend's farm. No animals were hurt in the making of this art. This is recycling, and these sweet potatoes and all of these things can be done with fresh fruit, fresh vegetables. But in the end, it's all stuff that you would perhaps compost, and so this is basically recycling at its finest. Here's another little thing I made. This is with milkweed. Now the milkweed, so the young ones, you can see. So it's basically an ostrich. Now the head and going into the body, you can see in between these wings that are made of milkweed is goldenrod. Now these pods that are on goldenrod contain a small worm. All of these things, these pods that you see, all have worms inside them. Now this is a little bit, these are all little ones that never really progressed of milkweed. And they all look, all I did was stick them on little sticks and make them look like legs, and so basically that's what milkweed looks like when it starts off when it's very small. And of course the wings of the ostrich are made from milkweed also, the husk. If you look at this, you can see the leg and the foot that I made. I just used some branches, glued them together, and made that foot. And then again, this is set on a tree canker. This is a node. And again, some sort of infection got in there. Sometimes it can be from another branch falling from another tree, but most of the time it'll be some sort of creature from the forest that will chew away at the bark a little bit, and then the bacteria gets underneath the bark and into the node. Now these hickory burls, when these things come out of the node and it's being created, it reacts by creating what appears to be a whole bunch of branches, but these branches are actually, I believe, the roots. So most burls that you see, quilted maple and all of that stuff, tends to be from the roots of most trees. This will contain the highest level. So the tree is trying to protect itself, but it's also trying to form a root also. This is what I believe. I will show you what one of these looks like before I've carved it. Now here's the hickory burl that I was talking about. Now this is what they look like. You'll see them all around here in Glengarry County. They're all over trees. These things are infectious. I had heard recently from somebody who told me that somebody said they are not infectious, but I'm not seeing any evidence to support this. The only evidence I see is to the contrary. I see forests that have few of these, and over the last 30 years I've seen the forest be decimated. These are all hickory trees. The bitter nut. These things are so bitter even the squirrels don't eat them. They really taste like crap. The natives used to eat them sometimes, but all of these things were always eaten in times of famine. if the food was good, and that's what they ate. Oftentimes horses. Here in the back of my truck we have the 9-foot mosquito. Now this 9-foot mosquito in the back of the truck, I'm not going to bother setting it up today. One of the reasons is it's pouring rain, but this was set up just outside my friend Luci's art gallery. Now here I am in Alexandria, Ontario, in 3-tier laser engraving art gallery where I keep this giant mosquito. Now right now it's pouring rain, I'm not going to set it up. If you want to see what this mosquito looks like, let's go on YouTube and Google giant mosquito invades Martintown and you'll see what it looks like. It looks pretty cool. So now we're going to go inside the shop. So here we are in my friend Phil's art gallery. This is the inside of it. We're about 15 feet away from where we were just taking the video outside. Now over here, Phil keeps some of my characters in here. Here we have 3 examples of what I've done with the skeletal remains of dogs. Over here I've used my friend's King Shepherd who died of cancer a few years ago. And he asked me to dig it up. He wanted to check out the skull. One of the reasons he wanted to check out the skull was he wanted to see how similar it was to a dog that he had had a few years earlier. This dog was half wolf, half dog. So we checked out the skulls and I ended up making this character that I call Charlie. And I've used some of his bones and I've used his shoulder blades for feet. And over here, this is the skull of the half wolf, half dog. That dog was called Hunter. So we saw no difference, of course. They're basically identical genetic makeup and there was nothing that we could see visually to indicate. Over here is another dog that I found, and I found this just a few months ago. This was actually just outside my place. Now, when I was walking on the road this spring, I noticed this more or less perfect skeleton sitting in the ditch, and the collar was still there, so I felt pretty bad at that point. But I did pick up the bones, realizing that science first and art second, and then put this together. So the head again here is made with a hickory burl. All of these heads are actually made with hickory burls.